Welcome back to the C-Suite. I'm Danielle Deshaw. In this segment, it's all about executive and leaders and how you are showing up and being seen in your role. Talking to us about executive and leadership presence is Diane Craig. She is the president and founder of Corporate Class Inc. And we're really going to be talking about really how to uncover the power of your presence that you have in your career. So welcome, Diane, to the show.
Thank you, Danielle. Pleasure to be here.
So happy to have you here talking about really executive and leadership presence, because Corporate Class Inc., you're internationally renowned for your executive and leadership presence training program. Can you share a little bit more about what this presence and idea of presence is?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are questioning, what does it mean to have presence? We've had people coming into our office like, I was at HR and they said, your boss says you need to have more presence. And they go like, and what is that? And they say, well, you know it when you see it, you sense it. And, and I think our program was recognized internationally because we systemized it. And in the sense that, what does it mean to have presence, and how can I learn these tips and these skills and apply them immediately? And really, presence is about being intentional on how you show up. How do you want people to experience you? Being present, being in the moment, and understanding how you show up in a conversation, in a meeting, and when you walk into this room, and it's really important that your message be heard. And understanding that having a strong presence does not mean to be aggressive either. We're looking for that person with the humble confidence, not the arrogant confidence. That humble confidence, the person that makes you feel like you want to be around them, that they're there and listening to you and they're with you.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of humble confidence, because it sounds like really this idea of presence, it's a little bit of tangible skill, but also some inner work as well, and inner knowing.
Yeah, we say in business that we hire for technical and we fire for behavioral. And what happens is that these skills sometimes can be a little bit harder to measure compared to driving results, performance results, and because it's a little squishier sometimes. And a lot of these skills often are related to your emotional intelligence, and often these skills are in very low supply, especially as we move up the rank, because we've done such a great job that we get promoted, but then we're asked to do something totally different. And the job that we used to do, other people are doing it, but now we have to manage our team. We have to manage conflicts, complexities, and it is not always that easy to do. So having leadership presence, we define it as connecting authentically, building confidence in others, and motivating people into action. That's what a real leader can do.
I like that. I was just going to ask, the next question is, really, what are the benefits of really being intentional about your presence in your career?
Well, I think that once we're intentional, it's really interesting, because instead of walking into a meeting with the goal of getting some results, but not thinking about the results, that how are we going to get there, and I love Cory Mascara, one of our consultants, who is also one of the leads with mindfulness.com, explains the difference between goals and intentions. So goals are results oriented and intentions are process oriented. So if this is what I want to accomplish, some people will go into that meeting, like the bull in the china shop. Doesn't matter how many vases we break, as long as I get the result that I want. Now, if I'm intentional and I think about how I want to drive these results, it'll be a totally different conversation. I think that's the beauty. We say that energy flow, that energy flows where intention goes. We have to ask ourselves, what is the difference between the goal and the intention? And we need a bit of both. And do I have a good balance in those two? My goals, are they process oriented, or am I focusing on detail and not focusing on the big goal, the big vision? So I think we need to be able to have both. But I think also when it comes to leadership present, when we talk about connecting authentically, that is also so important, because we are not asking you to be someone else, because let's face it, being someone else is hard. Right? And people are not fools, and they can pick that up from miles away. So we just want to be the best that we can be and remain authentic to who we are, and protect our integrity, and do everything that is aligned with our values.
What I like about what Corporate Class is doing is you have a number of different programs that support executives and leaders in their journey, but you particularly have a women in leadership program that you run throughout the year. Can you share more about that program?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a master class for women. We have one beginning April 27th. And the richness of the conversations is really incredible, an incredible experience for all of these women, because what we're talking about here is like, stepping into your power. And we all have self-doubt. How do we mitigate some of our, and for some, it's the imposter syndrome. How do we make sure that we have our voice heard? And what is the difference between being assertive and aggressive? And, if you're passive, it's a disrespect for yourself. If you're aggressive, it's disrespect for others. When you are assertive, you respect both yourself and others. So how do I get there? And how do I fuel my power? What gives me the courage to show up in the arena without the armor and being vulnerable at the same time?
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Diane, for being here today, talking about not just leadership presence and this idea of being intentional in your career, but how Corporate Class is also supporting women in really helping to define themselves and their intention around their presence as to how they want to lead in a very authentic way.
Thank you so much, Danielle.